too?
Tons of them. Studio City is really interesting. It's just north of Flagler Village, just south of Wilton Manors. Progresso, just to the west of Flagler Village. Sistrunk, just west of that. All super cool emerging markets. Old Town Pompano is really interesting. There's a big RFP out there related, and I forget who the second bidder was for that. That's an interesting market. Some of the stuff that's happening on the beach in Atlantic is interesting too. You know, some of that condo and hotel development that's starting to occur there. Solo, south of Las Olas in Fort Lauderdale again, also super cool little market. You know, Tarpon River. We're doing some ground floor retail for some new construction over there, but that's really going to become a vibrant market. There's a ton of multifamily development that's in the pipeline, some of which is already under construction. But super walkable, just a couple blocks off Las Olas, sort of, you know, overlooked for the longest time, and I think it's really sort of starting to bud now. And there's some other stuff up in Palm Beach and you know, a couple other markets like that that are very interesting. And there's even some infill stuff, you know, like that's still, even Flagler Village, I mean, is still sort of coming into its own, you know, and that's been 15, 20 years in the making with really the emphasis on the last, call it 7 to 10. But you know, as a lot of those projects start to come online and stabilize, it starts to become more walkable, which was really what it was always designed to be, but it was sort of built backwards, so now we're sort of playing catch up from a retail perspective.
What markets are out there where if you get a tenant rep assignment, and the tenant says, you know, we want to get a, you know, great space in the right corner in this particular sub-market, you know, which markets do you say, you know, like, good luck, you know, not gonna happen?
There's a lot of them. I mean, all the high street retail, honestly, you know, we don't have that much of it in South Florida, so, you know, everybody always wants to have a piece of that pie, but it's very, very small. And some of it is controlled by just a select handful of landlords, and they're very particular on what they will and will not approve. So change has been rather challenging in some of those markets, to put it politely. So yeah, I would say high street retail is without question the most difficult retail asset class to break into in South Florida.
And when you say change, the rents are getting...
It's not even so much about rents, it's about the types of retailers that are there, right? So many years ago, without getting into too much specifics, there was sort of like a progressive, cool, funky, sort of like street art, Mexican concept that wanted to come into Fort Lauderdale. And at the time, ownership was like, absolutely not. They've since got in that location and they're doing phenomenal, probably one of the best tenants on that street. But that's sort of the resistance to change portion, right? Where it doesn't necessarily fit the historical box of what's always been in there. It scares ownership a little bit, and it's difficult to get them to commit to taking that jump and trying something new. And there's a lot, right? So like that's just within the restaurant or entertainment side, but then, you know, there's high intensity training classes and, you know, group fitness and these type of things that historically have never been there, right? It's always been art galleries and, you know, like real estate shops, and, you know, like it's been a very specific genre for 100 years, and the concept of trying something different scares a lot of people, right? Nobody ever likes change. So a lot of it is about convincing them to try something new and then seeing the success in it, and really then being able to create a street where it becomes all-encompassing, right? Because you can only go to so many residential real estate offices and art galleries in one day. You know, you need to have more to really be able to stay on a block all day and to continue to be able to spend money. And in my opinion, the curation of that co-tenancy is what can take a neighborhood or a street from